And with that, I'm going to hand it off to Deanna so she can walk us through how your participation within the AAC will kind of shift to.
Thanks, Nicolette. So now that you are wrapping up, here, I got it. We have someone else joining us, yay. All right, so now that you are wrapping up STEM Arrive, the next phase of our program for the spring of 21 is STEM Thrive. And I'm not sure if folks remember this during the student welcome that we had over the summer or right before classes started. It was a little confusing at the time probably to put all these pieces into place, but all of our new AAC students go through Arrive, and once they complete Arrive, the Thrive program comes next. So welcome, Shanna. We just are starting to talk about the next program in the office for folks who are wrapping up Arrive. So please feel free to ask any questions. I'm going to go through a little bit of like what to expect. I'm presenting this because I coordinate the STEM Thrive program. And so I wanted to make sure that we had time here to chat a little bit about these pieces. So welcome to the party. Just kidding. I wish I was part of Arrive, honestly, too. Awesome. So STEM, like what is STEM Thrive? So we have 3 programs. We have STEM Arrive, STEM Thrive, and STEM Thrive Grad, like the image below that you see. And so really the goal of the program is to really continue extending and like strengthening the skills that you are starting to build already in Arrive. So we do talk a little bit about like academic support still, right? We still are building up on those skills for you all that you all are still going through in your undergrad. We talk about like more like housing off campus, right? So typically, and this is not everyone, but typically a lot of our Arrive students are new first year students who might be on campus. So a lot of that stuff is like helping folks transition. Some of our Arrive students aren't first year students, they're transfer students. They're students who have already been at CSU for a couple semesters, right? And so it's just building on additional skills after the first semester with us. We spend a little bit more time doing like STEM related topics like undergraduate research. And you might have seen these, and we'll talk about some examples. These were the optional Arrive seminars or sessions that we had. So we're giving y'all an opportunity to kind of get an insight of like what STEM Thrive looked like. We wanted to make sure that if you all were interested in those during your first year or first semester with us, that you have that opportunity. But those optional ones were the STEM Thrive clips actually. So we had some folks in there who were in the STEM Thrive program already. So we'll do more academic prep, career preparation. We start introducing more information regarding like graduate school. And this is not like a list, an exhaustive list. We really look at what our students are telling us that they need in the STEM program. And so really when we are asking folks to fill out assessments, like at the beginning, during each cliff, and at the end, that is what is telling us like what our students are taking away from the program, what things are really beneficial, what things maybe like we need to change up a bit. And that's how we inform this program. So really like what you're telling us is going to be really important. So just know that we hear you and we want to make sure we make this program about you. And so these seminars, workshops, I don't know what to call them anymore. They're community learning forums, which we call CLIFs for short. So you might be hearing that word a lot next semester. Some people call them CLFs. That's totally fine, whatever feels like easy for you. Some people are still trying to remember what the AAC stands for, right? So like for me, my first semester at the AAC, I kept calling it the ACA or ACC. And I was like, another acronym. So those are community learning forums. They're just the workshops that we have, and they're standalone workshops. So sometimes we have like a part 1, part 2, but in the spring coming up, they're standalones, and we ask folks to engage with 2, and that's it per semester. So we'll have a schedule out for the semester with different topics, and you will decide which 2 you want to engage with with the Thrive program. And so that first meeting that you have with your retention specialist, that's when you go over, right? Like what program am I a part of this semester? And what does that program look like? That's when you'll have a meeting and talk a little bit about like what's available this semester, where can I find it? And I'll talk about that piece here in a little bit too. But just know you'll talk about it again with your retention specialist. And so who participates in STEM Thrive? So like I said, folks go into our STEM Thrive program after they complete Arrive, and they will stay in this program up until they reach their last 2 semesters before graduation. So this is the program where we have the most students in our program. So we have everyone who's still maybe is in their second, third year, and then once students are in their last 2 semesters, they'll go into our STEM Thrive grad program that focuses a little bit more on like getting prepared to graduate, more hands-on career prep, more hands-on like graduate school support. Doesn't mean that you won't get those in STEM Thrive, but they're a little bit more intensified in STEM Thrive grad. Any questions? Okay, yes, I see that we got a question saying, do we get emails about the Thrive program and when the dates are, etc.? Yes, so I will talk about what the communication looks like for STEM Thrive, because it looks very different than our Arrive program from our lovely Nicolette on Canvas. So let me go ahead and switch over. Nicolette, do you want to go ahead into the next slide? I'll talk about what that communication is in a little bit. I think there's a slide for it. So before I talk about that, I just want to give you all some examples. These probably sound familiar to you because these were the optional Arrive seminars. These were actual clips. Typically, like this is all found on our website. So that's where our students are going to be finding all that information. We'll also be contacting you all via email and putting these in the newsletter. If you saw the newsletters, there were informations about, there was information about Cliffs, and so that's another way to keep connected with the program. But these are examples of some of those. Some things will overlap with Arrive. Some things like the CSU FastForward workshop will overlap with our classic program from our students who are in all programs. This is applicable to everyone in the AAC. We have financial literacy is another big topic we talk about in all of our programs. So this is like an example of one of those. So typically throughout a semester, we will offer like 10-ish cliffs, all on different topics. Sometimes we'll have like 2 financial aid, 3 financial aid, 2 grad school ones. So we try to mix it up and try to provide a ton of opportunities, especially since this is a program that students will spend most of their time in when they're in our office. So we don't want folks to go through repetitive workshops. So we'll definitely like switch it up. Later you'll hear that like we also invite students if they want to present their own like workshop, a cliff, we do that too. And sometimes we have our student staff who want to present on things who will be involved in this process as well. So it's very collaborative, and it's definitely an opportunity that we open up to students if they're interested. We will have a combination of live and pre-recorded sessions. So we will decide over winter break which ones we are going to have live and which ones we are going to have pre-recorded. And we will have the pre-recorded already on our website from day 1 of spring available for you all, if those are the topics that you're interested in. But then you'll also see a schedule of live cliffs that will be happening in the semester for you to keep an eye on. The live ones will still be recorded and then uploaded to our website. So at the end of the semester, they should all be recorded and available. But there'll be some that are already recorded from the very beginning. Okay, we can go on to the next slide and I'll talk about the communication piece. Oh, this is just an example of some of the STEM Thrive clips that were included in like our newsletter, our social media. I would say that that's like a good place to look at if you don't already look at those. I will also be emailing students the Monday of every week just to give an update of upcoming clips. But if it helps you to go through the website first with your retention specialist in your first meeting and then write down on your calendar like which ones you're hoping to attend or which ones you can already access on the website, if that's helpful for you too, that's fine. But just know that we'll be sending out communication in a couple of ways. Okay. So this brings me back to your question that you posted on here. I forgot who asked the question, Martika. So where can folks find the Cliffs. So you're not going to be on Canvas anymore, unfortunately. You're actually going to be referred to our website, and I'll show you here in a little bit how to navigate our website. That's where you're going to find the full schedule for STEM Thrive of the recorded Cliffs and the live Cliffs. The live Cliffs are always listed in order based on date, and we can browse that here in a little bit. And that's where you'll find like the description, the date, the Zoom link, and the eval link as well. So everything should be on our website. The Zoom link is uploaded the day before. So if you don't see it right away at the beginning of the semester and it's in March, just know it'll get uploaded eventually. How do folks complete their STEM Thrive requirements? So similar to Arrive, people will fill out an eval, and that is really like where we're seeing how students are engaging, how students are feeling like maybe they are taking stuff away, maybe they're not. They're pretty short, but the eval is the same across the board, similar to Arrive, and that link is found on our website as well, and I'll show you here in a little bit. Another question that we got from this semester from a lot of folks in STEM Thrive was like, do I have to attend live sessions? No, you can either attend both. Let me restart. So the two Cliffs that you decide to engage with, really make it about the topic. If you are really interested in grad school and there's some grad school like live sessions, if you can't make it, then no, it's going to be recorded. But if maybe the two that you're interested already recorded, then you can engage with those. You can engage with all recorded, all pre-recorded, or all live, or a combination. So it's up to you based on the topic. That's what I encourage students to look at, is like the topic. Does that make sense? Cool. And just two. Don't forget, it's just two. And how do I ensure my engagement with the Cliff gets accounted for? Going back to the evaluation, it's best to do it right after. People will forget. Sometimes folks can't recall if they submitted it or not. We check attendance weekly, and so we're able to keep an eye on that. And so staff will also be able to see that and check in with you all about that during your student meetings. And that also, if it happens right away, it also will be more accurate in like the responses on the eval of like how you engaged with it. And then the communication. So I will be in charge of communicating with you all and sending just the weekly emails of the Cliffs that are upcoming. If there are any cancellations or any changes, I will be sending out the email. Keep it short and simple. If you have any concerns about it, I would say it'd be best to email myself or your retention specialist, if not both. I think both always just helps circle like the communication piece. So if you can, always include both, and I'll include my contact info here in a little bit. The AAC newsletter will always have upcoming Cliffs for STEM Thrive. Our Instagram, if you're not already following, is constantly getting updated with these pieces and updates and things like that. So that's always a good way to keep an eye out for stuff. Yeah, that's what the communication piece will be. So the resources to go through Arrive is definitely going to be our website. So our website is always just going to be a good place to look at as a reminder of like what's available for STEM Thrive in the spring. Here's my contact information. You will be getting information from me once your status changes. I will be welcoming you all through an email again, just to provide you the information via an email, and so just keep an eye out from that. Your retention specialist, that first meeting is where you talk about these pieces again. Just briefly, just to let you know, like, hey, you're in our STEM Thrive program now, like, congrats. Here are the requirements for that, just as a reminder. And let's go through the website. Maybe if you all are on a Zoom call and you want to check out the website together, just to see like where to find the STEM Thrive pieces. If you're having a hard time, I would encourage you to do that with your retention specialist. Something unique that we had that I know was a little hard to like figure out this semester was our STEM peer mentors. Our STEM peer mentors joined us a little late this semester, but they are also available for our students after they complete Arrive. They're mainly mentors for students in the Arrive program, but they'll still be available for folks. If you just like want a peer to check in with, like, hey, I want more information from this Cliff, who should I talk to? They will have drop-in hours and will provide that information. as in the spring when we start, just to get you all connected again with that resource if you didn't use that this semester, which is okay. And then, yeah, like I said, I keep coming back to the newsletter. Some folks mentioned it was a good resource. I would agree. Thanks, Nicolette, for the newsletter support. Okay, I need to breathe a little bit. I feel like I've been talking a lot. Let me just open up before I go through the website. Are there any questions? Let me see. Okay. Yeah, folks have to take off. That's okay. Someone said that they have to take off. That's okay. Thank you for being here. Any questions so far about STEM Thrive? Any confusion, communication? All right. Feel free to add it whenever. I'm going to go ahead and walk through the website a little bit. So if you haven't been to our updated website, this is a new website that we had a lot of our student staff help us with over the summer. If you saw the last one, it was not as good, but this is a revamped website to help us include our programs through our website a little bit more efficiently, and also make it more accessible to students. So when you want to find your program piece for STEM Thrive and STEM Thrive Grad eventually, you're going to go ahead and just find us at aac.colostate.edu. If you already have just the CSU webpage up, you can look up AAC and it should take you to the home page. Once you're there, you're going to go ahead and click on current students where you see that arrow. Thank you, Nicolette. So you'll click on students, and then can you go to the next one? And you'll see a bunch of drop-down menu options. It looks like we have Arrive on here. We mainly have Canvas, so it'll redirect you, but you are going to click on STEM Thrive. This is important because we also have a Classic Thrive program. It's just listed as Thrive on here. Those are completely different workshops. Our STEM Thrive page lists are specific workshops that are different based on obviously STEM topics. So make sure you're clicking on the right one. And like I said, we'll have overlap in some of the clips that will show up in both pages, but make sure you click on the STEM Thrive section. Once you're here, you're gonna see these two drop-down menu options. I'm gonna go ahead and admit someone, and someone's joining us. Okay, so you'll see, hello, welcome. We're just going over the website pieces, so feel free to jump in whenever you have any questions. So once you are in the STEM Thrive section, you'll see that there are live clips and there are going to be pre-recorded clips. You can click on each of them and it'll give you a drop-down list of all of them that provide you a ton of content. So for example, I clicked on pre-recorded clips. It'll give me a little thumbnail picture, the title, the description. The way you go to the recording is to click on the title. So you'll see the title is in a different color. That means there's a link there that takes you to the actual video. If you put all these videos here, they would be like a little big and kind of messy looking. So it takes you to its own page. So if you would have clicked on one of these, so maybe STEM Justice, you can click on it and go to the next slide. Oh, actually, never mind. I didn't put those pieces in here. But for example, if you would have clicked on STEM Justice, it would take you to a separate web page that just has the video and that eval link in there as well. So make sure to click on the title. When you go to the live clips, you will have, similar to this, the same thing, but it'll have the date, a Zoom link, space, and then the eval in this space as well. And these will be in order based on the timeline of the semester. So I would say if you want to go to the website now and check out how the program is set up now, I can drop a link in here. You can see what we had available this semester. There are quite a bit of options, and so you can check it out just to give you an idea of like what to expect next semester. But like I said, it'll be really good, I would say, if you go over these pieces with your retention specialist in your first meeting in the spring. And so it'll be good to have that meeting pretty early on. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link to the current STEM Thrive page right now. So if folks wanna check it out, And I would say check out our entire website. There are new things that we're implementing, like a calendar for events on there. We're trying to like do some resources. So we're building it up. We're building it up. If you're unfamiliar with like the staff, the full staff, our student staff. So yeah, check it out. Any questions about what to expect for STEM Thrive?